Now that you have had a successful showing and have an offer coming, here's what to expect. An offer is a written contract in which a buyer makes and submits to the seller. Because their written offer forms a basis of a legal contract with the seller, the contract can be thorough. There are some important details on the purchase contract in which your RE/MAX agent will be sure to talk through with you. Some of these items are the amount a buyer is offering for the home and how they will pay the seller, cash, type of loan, etc. Next is the amount of earnest money a buyer is offering you. Earnest money is a small good faith deposit to show a buyer is serious about buying the home. This is typically held by your real estate office. The earnest money deposit can range from $500 to 5% of the value of the home. Next is the amount of down payment a buyer is putting on their loan. This shows the seller how strong of a buyer they are. Then, the seller concessions, such as any closing costs or other costs a buyer would like the seller to pay for. Next, closing date and possession. The possession is typically the same day as closing. A seller needs to have all items removed from the home prior to closing. Next, what inspection a buyer plans on doing. The inspections typically happen within 2 weeks of accepting an offer. Some of these inspections may include home, radon, termite, septic, and well. Conveyances, such as what is included with the home, appliances, window treatments, etc. Lastly is an expiration date of the buyer's offer by which the seller must respond, or your offer expires. Response times between a buyer and seller is typically 24 hours or less. When you receive an offer, you have the option to accept, counter, or reject the offer. If you are in agreement with the buyer's terms, you can accept the offer as is. If you would like to change certain terms of the contract, such as price, closing date, or other items, a seller would write a counter offer to the buyer presenting the seller's terms to the buyer. Once the seller and buyer come to terms on a buyer's purchase contract, the offer becomes a legal binding contract, and you are on your way to the next step.